to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakakadash. I would like to say double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to the hopefully elect. This is definitely the times out of all the times where prayer is important. And Shalomyam, Azarium, Raparium should be on to pray that to be on the hopeful elect. Shalomyam meaning peace, Azarium meaning helps, and Raparium meaning healings, and Shamarium meaning to be washed over, to the hopeful elect in the times that we're coming into. As you know, today is April 4th, or 5th. No, April 4th. No, today. Yeah, April 5th. April 5th, 2024. The word has been known that there was earthquakes that had happened yesterday on the 4th over there in New Jersey, and different parts of that area felt it, and that include Elder Pastahar. As brothers had clipped that Elder Pastahar was actually live during a lesson when even he felt the aftershock. He said for 3 seconds he saw everything in this building shake, and he ain't never experienced that or never even felt that before. And even in that midst, he put up a prayer to ask the Lord to heal him and to watch over him. And brothers testifying to it. And I could say I am so excited to hear all of this is going on, especially looking forward to the 8th being the Monday, April 8th, because that's supposed to be the eclipse. This is very exciting times. We look forward to it. We're really happy. The Lord is visiting this place, and we say, look, bring it. And we are prepared for whatever comes. And it's good. And we had class yesterday, and the brother who led the class, the brother Howard Shah, he made mention about how this, we didn't even know anything about the earthquakes, but he made mention about these New Madrid earthquakes. And he said that he caught wind of videos saying that these earthquakes that happened could happen very well again, and that it involves basically us here in St. Louis or over here in Missouri. So I said, please send me the information. I never heard anything about it. And he went ahead and sent it to me, and I went ahead and saw a video, and we're going to talk about that video. And we're going to talk about how the Lord has this place in a trick bag. And in the parts over here in Missouri, especially like St. Louis, this involves us, we could very well see and experience a lot of judgment that can go on in the sense of earthquakes happening again. So let's read about it, okay? This is 1811 to 1812 New Madrid earthquake. So right off the back, we can see, as far as the time frame, we're talking exactly over 215 or 14, 213, 14 years ago. So that's important to know. And I have a video play, which I'm going to play a good chunk of it. All right, so it says, Wikipedia, the 1811 to 1812 New Madrid earthquakes were a series of intense intraplate earthquakes, beginning with an initial earthquake of moment magnitude of 7.2 to 8.2 on December 16, 1811, followed by a moment magnitude 7.4 aftershock on the same day. 2 additional earthquakes of similar magnitude followed in January and February in 1812. They remain the most powerful earthquakes to hit the contiguous United States east of the Rocky Mountains in recorded history. The earthquakes, as well as the seismic zone of their occurrence, were named for the Mississippi River, town of New Madrid, then part of Louisiana Territory, and now within the state of Missouri. So this concerns a few states. And the brother brought it to my attention. And when I found the video, even the video, what I liked is he explains what the New Madrid earthquakes was basically for a whole year. This particular area, right, was getting constantly hit with earthquake after earthquake after earthquake, that it caused so much death, and it caused cities to be flooded under the water. And the reason it's so impactful is because it has history with the Mississippi River, like the brother mentioned. That's why what caught my attention. I said, please send me that information. I did not know, because he mentioned on how the information tells you that because of these earthquakes, it actually shifted the direction of the Mississippi River. So the way the Mississippi River flowing now only changed that way because of these earthquakes. So that's huge. I did not know that. So it not only it widened and it shifted, which I believe correct. If I'm correct on the video, he said at one point it was flowing south, but because of the earthquakes, it actually widened and it shifted direction to flow north. Or I may have that backwards. But as you can see, here is the map of which it is involved in, dealing with what we would say Midwest. But so as you can see, here it is, New Madrid. There's St. Louis up there. This is why it pertains to us. That's what caught my attention. But going down here, it shows you that Memphis, Tennessee, all right, which we have brothers in all states. But meeting right there at New Madrid, Missouri, or would it be considered? I don't know what state would that be considered. Okay. It's part of Louisiana. Okay. So I'm gonna let the video play. So now we know the area and why this is important, because prior to this video here, which was done over 2 weeks ago, and then we have what happens today, and why this is all relevant to what something big that the Lord probably has prepared for this place, in particular this side of the world and other parts, because now people are going to these videos because of what happened. And this is really good. This is really good, because even the comments, some of these comments were made today or even yesterday, and you're going to see just the mentality of the people in the comments. In the sense, they're kind of like us. They're saying, look, just bring it. So check it out. We'll play a good chunk of this.
And stones of New Madrid. In a short time, there was no trace left of the city. The earthquakes caused temporary waterfalls along the river near New Madrid, capsizing dozens of boats. The tremor on February 7th lifted and sank the ground, forcing the flow of the Mississippi to reverse. Enormous chasms opened up under the river, creating whirlpools that sucked in other boats. The earthquakes altered the river's course, flooding cities and farmland. They also diverted the waters, giving rise to Reelfoot Lake in Tennessee, which did not exist before 1812. The earthquake was so powerful that within 3 minutes, seismic waves reached Charleston, Washington, and Boston. The shaking lasted for 15 minutes, and needless to say, even the sturdiest brick and stone houses crumbled to their foundations for miles around. St. Louis and Louisville suffered severe damage. Aftershocks hammered the country for days. Out of a population of about 15,000 inhabitants in the affected area, more than 1,000 people perished and at least 5,000 found themselves homeless. Are you perhaps thinking that the loss of life wasn't that terrible compared to the recent carnage in Haiti and Turkey? Well, you'll change your mind when you consider that at that time, the population density was 1 person per square kilometer. Besides the loss of human lives, there was also damage to structures. 5 settlements, a military fort, and countless Indian villages vanished from the face of the earth. In many places, the ground was torn open and then covered with sand, boils, fissures, and cracks. Dead trees were everywhere. Swamps were lifted and dried out, while good grazing and farming land were submerged by new enormous lakes. The still young United States had never experienced a disaster of such magnitude. It's impossible to establish the exact magnitude of these earthquakes since seismographs didn't exist in 1812. Scientists estimate that at least 3 of the New Madrid earthquakes measured on the Richter scale would have had a magnitude greater than 8. These are the most intense earthquakes ever observed in the continental United States, and globally they are among the strongest ever recorded.
So you heard that it shifted the direction of the Mississippi River. That's how much damage it did, which caused damage to other areas and states around. Now, this is, like I said, this is in 1811, 1812. this information was forgotten. It's unknown. You could almost say. The brother knew about it because the brother's a older generation, right? But I can guarantee you, I can ask anybody in my family, anybody know about the New Madrid? They may say, I heard about that." For the most part, it's forgotten knowledge, and this is more relevant. Like you see over here, you got it's all impacted: Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas, and Mississippi. So this whole area got hit with probably the strongest earthquakes that ever hit America, at least on this side. Now, why is this all relevant? Why is this a talking point now? Well, let's go here.
It also happens that the harder, colder, drier, and less fractured crust of the central United States can generate shocks over larger areas compared to earthquakes of comparable magnitude that occur in the West. The geological structure of the New Madrid fault zone is indeed composed of layers of sedimentary rock, such as limestone, which spreads and amplifies the shocks, just like hitting a bass drum. Due to this chain effect, an earthquake along the New Madrid fault zone would travel farther and cause more damage than a similar magnitude earthquake on the West Coast. Today, the New Madrid fault zone, which is active, holds the highest seismic risk in North America east of the Rocky Mountains. Currently, an average of 200 earthquakes occur in New Madrid each year, most of which, however, are too small to be felt. About once a year, there is an earthquake of magnitude 3.0, and about once every 10 years, there is an earthquake of magnitude 5.0 or higher. Earthquakes cannot be predicted. The likelihood or probability can be calculated from recurrence models in the past. Based on evidence of seismic activity found in geological features, scientists estimate that in New Madrid, an earthquake with a magnitude greater than 7.5 on the Richter scale could occur every 200 to 300 years. Seismologists also calculated 25 to 40% probability of another severe earthquake, 6.0 or higher, occurring in the New Madrid seismic zone by 2040, with significant damage and loss of life. One day, perhaps without any warning, an absolutely massive earthquake will strike the New Madrid fault. When that happens, thousands of Americans will die. Tens of thousands of structures will be completely destroyed, and millions of people will be left homeless. This would be a nightmare from which none of us could wake up. So since we don't know when the big event might come, the best thing to do is to prepare, imposing extreme safety measures across the entire territory. Unfortunately, we know that very little has been done about it by the authorities, and this certainly does not leave us feeling reassured. For its part, the small town of New Madrid, now taken as a symbol of earthquake risk in the region, now has a population of 3,000, and reportedly tends to take it very philosophically, content, as some say, to keep one eye on the Mississippi and one on the hills. New Madrid folk singer Lou Hobbs put it another way in his signature song, Living on the New Madrid.
So, in fact, let me just type this in. So you see, okay, so it is in Missouri. It's a county in Missouri. So you see, as the narrator said, they believe every 200 years or 300 it could happen. So we're in that time, and this happens as well. And the spirit brought it up to where this is a talking point now, and this video is put up 2 weeks. Oh no, this is definitely reality. And we're upon that line. And like I said, as a show, you don't even necessarily have to be in New Madrid. It's the aftershocks. Everybody else around you feels it. That's why Elder Pastor Hard and brothers in New York felt it. You just around there. We know how earthquakes work. So it's definitely informative for the brothers and the people who live in Missouri in this area. Because if the Lord brings that again, yes, we definitely going to see a lot of death and destruction. Because who's prepared for it? And how do you really prepare for it? You're just a victim. At any moment, the Lord can, as he says, hit the bass drum, boom. And those vibrations, New Madrid would probably be destroyed. And those around, even up here in St. Louis, are going to get hit too. And it'll definitely be the highest magnitude ever, you know? So let's look at the comments and then the scriptures, of course. Look, somebody came today, said who's watching this after the 4.8 earthquake in New York. Someone said whales are beaching themselves, fish are flipping and flopping. Also, birds have been flying into traffic. Fact, back in the 1800s, when the New Madrid went off, there was a full eclipse with the great comet Tukamesh spooky. Okay, people acknowledging the wonders and the signs that's going on in the earth. That shows you that the Lord is at work. It says, let's not mention the two eclipses that crossed over New Madrid in 1806 and 1811 before the earthquakes began in late 1811. And I believe this is what sparked conversations to be talked. They said, wait a minute, eclipse, earthquakes, they kind of tie together. And when you look at the eclipse that's coming on the 8th, it's crossing the same path. It's crossing the New Madrid pipeline. And it's been over 200 years. You see? Someone said, I don't really care. I'm so sick of this evil, greedy world that it would actually be a relief if we didn't have to continue on this way. I'm ready for the Lord. See? Someone said they had a dream. Someone said this is nothing compared to what the Lord is coming. You know, doom and despair. Okay, I think this is what I want. It says the upcoming eclipse path of totality crosses over the Booth Hill of Missouri. The one in 2017 crossed the two. The two paths create an X across the country with the Boot Hill area in the middle of X. The epicenter of the fault line is right there. And we've seen that information when they're talking about the eclipse. I don't have them pulled up, but yes, this is true. So people are starting to acknowledge what's going on around here. And I'm excited because it's judgment to this place, and it's because it's showing that the Lord is visiting this place. He's here, and we're almost out of here. All right, the book of Isaiah 29, verse 6 says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. So when those things happen, it's the Lord. You're being visited by the Lord, by his great creations that bring destruction. And it's going to be known who is behind all this, the great and almighty power, Yahweh, and the Son, Yahweh Shai, those who gets the glory. Now, mind you, the earthquake and great noise, right? What good comes out of an earthquake? Absolutely nothing. What good? And then the Lord said, this is what to look forward to, man. In Matthew chapter 24. Right. Going to the point, verse 3 or verse 4. And Yahweh Shai answered, no, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? That's why people are tying everything that's happening with biblical prophecy, because this is what the Lord said. We are in that time. It's only prideful and the foolishness of men to constantly put off the day of the Lord and to constantly say, no, this has nothing to do with nothing. We're going to be all right. Because people don't want to admit that they're living in the time that they're going to see the Lord. We are going to see the Lord in our time. And no one wants to admit that because there's nothing but doom and gloom surrounding it, right? And who wants to deal with that? It's better to just say, no, we're going to be long gone before that even happens. Really, they hate the Lord because they don't want him to come. They're saying, Lord, let me live my life to the fullest. And when I'm long gone, then you can go ahead and come. Don't come now, because that's going to interrupt what I want to do. Well, I'll have you know, like I always like to remind anybody who likes to talk that way. Okay, we're operating off Yahweh while Yahweh Shai's time. The time itself is based around Yahweh Shai. We are in year 20. We got two times, BC and AD. BC meaning before the anointed. They say before Christ, which is before the anointed. And then you got AD, Anno Domini, which means year of our Lord. Because the moment the Lord was born, the clock started. Everything was BC was up until his birth. And then the moment he was born, the clock started. And when he left, he said, "I come quickly. Count the clock. The the hourglass has been flipped. It's only a matter of time. I'm coming back." So we are year 2024, year of our Lord. Meaning every year people like to celebrate the new year. But what's the new year of? It's a new year that we could possibly see the Lord. The Lord could possibly return in this year. We're off his clock, man. This ain't what the hell we want. Time itself is based around him, fool. But you think we'll never see him? Oh, he's coming. And he's here. You see? That's why we're excited. And are we a little shaken up? Of course the brothers are a little shaken up. You feel something like that, you even see it, especially over here in America. Unless you in them corner states like California, Florida, where you just expect the worst, you just know because of the area you're in. Places like over here in the Midwest, ain't nobody expecting that. I've never experienced it. No one's expecting that to happen. Even as we speak, no one's expecting that to happen. So when the Lord just makes it happen, how great and devastating would that be? Especially because people would never expect it. And you're completely helpless. He says, and Yahweh Shai, his name is Yahweh Shai, right? Not no Jesus, not no Christ, not no Most God. His name is Yahweh Shai, and the Son and the Father's name is Yahweh. Gonna give glory and praises to those names. With all this evil that's coming, prayer is more important now than ever, and you're gonna have to call on those names. You're gonna need those names. Guarantee you. Don't listen to them guys in the purple, because I guarantee you, when them guys in the purple, if some of them were there to feel that earth shaking, and they're who do you think they prayed to? They ain't pray to no Christ, man. If they did, they have no hope. But if they, I guarantee you, when you actually get afraid, and you know the names Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, you're not gonna play around. You're gonna call on those names, and that's why we tell you the importance of those names. Don't listen to that doctrine. You need those names. Right? It's your best chance. It says, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many." I want to jump to the point. No, I'll just keep going. "And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." Here's the point. "And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." So earthquakes are prophesied to happen. This is how the Lord is visiting and showing his disapproval and his anger with this place. Now, what good comes out of an earthquake? Who's actually looking forward to an earthquake? No one, because you know it only is going to leave death, destruction, and rubble. Years of building, years of engineering, years of toiling, years of landscaping, and the earthquake or just the aftershock turns it all to rubble instantly. No one's looking forward to an earthquake. Nothing good can come out of it. Nobody can say, "Oh yeah, we got an earthquake. Thank you. Now the roads are straight. Now everything's clear. We really like that." No, it's only destruction. So when you hear earthquake, period, one, you're helpless, and two, it's destruction. Right? Now when you read 2nd Ezra chapter 15, the Lord talks about destruction and plague towards primarily Egypt, such as verse 11. It says, "But I will bring them out with a mighty hand and stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Not only that, but the brother shared information today about how there's a river that just turned blood. Let me pull that up real quick, because that's fairly new. All right, here we are. This was back in 2020, January. It says, "A sign of the end times, river turns blood red as council staff investigate the cause of the strange happening." So all these wonders happening surrounding this place, putting these people in fear, and call all Yahweh Shemel Shah. We need that. We pray to the Lord to put these people in fear, man, because they're proud as hell. They don't acknowledge you. They don't acknowledge you. So it's time for you to be made known amongst these people. It's time for these people to fear and acknowledge that there is a power, and his name is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. There is one Lord, and he runs the shots, not you damn Edomites. See, that's what you Edomites gonna realize, you so-called white people. You don't run nothing. That's the pride of thine heart. when the Lord comes to visit you, like he's going to do with this New Madrid, Missouri, he's going to let you know that you never were in control. He's in control. And you are at his mercy. He could snap his finger. He ain't got to do that. And he can cause the earth to tremble and to shake. And in doing so, you will fall, showing you that everyone is subject to his power. Proud as you people are, don't acknowledge him in anything, breaking his laws. He will destroy you instantly. It goes on to say, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment, and Yahweh shall bring it out. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail with fearful consolation. I'm going to jump down. Verse 27. For now are the plagues that are come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. Talking about the
For now are the
For Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east. Whereas the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariot, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, and they shall and all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians rage in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Syrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in a great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume them, and in their hosts shall fear and dread and strife among their kings. So this is talking about judgment, persecution towards all the nations. It says, behold, clouds from the east and from the north and from the south, unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another. They shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly. And dung of men unto the camel's hoe. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. Right? And even the earth is shaken. That brings trembling, literally trembling, and cause others to tremble. Imagine knowing that you living in a hot spot that at any time the earth could shake on you. Anytime. And we're in that area. Right? And the eclipse is coming Monday. So it could just happen. I believe that's all I want. I mean, the whole chapter is good. Basically, the Lord's going to bring destruction. The strong winds, was verse 38 say, and then shall there come great storms from the south and from the north, and another part from the west. So the Lord said in Isaiah 26, earthquakes, strong storms, pestilence. This is how he visits this place and shows his disapproval of Babylon the Great, also known as the land of unwalled villages, as it is in Ezekiel 38, when the Lord is prophesying how Russia, which is Gog, the land of Magog, was going to come against America. Verse 10, it says, thus said the Lord Yahweh, it shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And that's talking about using the Russians, in particular the president. He putting the evil thought in their minds. The Lord works upon the minds of the people. He controls the show. Verse 11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. What's it talking about? The unwalled villages is America. The scriptures call them the virgin daughter of Babylon. Why do they call themselves unwalled villages? Because of pride. They're at rest. Normally the walls are there to protect against outsiders. But in America, what urgency is there in this place? Who's talking about this new Madrid earthquake? Who's talking about this? Who's talking about when's the last time a city ever ran an emergency drill like other countries do? In the case of war, in the case of missiles, America don't do none of that. Why? Because of pride. That's why I said virgin daughter of Babylon, because no blood really has been shed on American soil. No war was fought on American soil. There's no loss or anything like that, that the pride of Americans should say, well, what do we have to worry about, right? What do we have to worry about? We're America and all this. And here it is, you living on sensitive land in a sensitive time. You're unwalled villager, you're at ease, you're at rest. You have no clue of what's gonna hit you. And you can't prepare. How do you prepare? The only way to prepare is to have acknowledged this and move forward when it comes to construction and things like that. Really, you don't build buildings high like that, because you looking at what could happen. Them people don't know what's about to hit them. Nobody in this area is expecting this. And I say, look, let it happen. And are we going to be a little shaken up? Of course. Could we lose homes and houses? Of course. But it has to happen. The Lord's going to protect his elect. He's going to make sure we're taken care of. Hell, who knows? Might be without power. Just a little shaking cause without power. It can happen. And, I pray that this happen. Pray that the Lord has something in store on the eclipse, because the eclipse is supposed to cross over X right there on the Madrid line, and 6 or 7 cities with the name Nineveh in it, especially in Missouri. One is Nineveh, Missouri. Call Allah Yahbashim Yahshua. This is his work. These people are afraid, as they should be. All right, so it's going to be more to come. Call Allah Yahbashim Yahshua. You're going to hear us now more than ever, bark our heads off, man, because this is the time we've been waiting for, especially when you come to GMS. All right, we want to get the hell out of here. We can't speak for anybody else. All right? So with that, stay prayed up. Keep your eyes open. More to come. Shalom.